I think spiritual life is not that easy if we're serious about it. We talk about ideal and God's love and how to love each other and support each other and create ideal families, and that's all really important, the ideal, right? But spiritual life is a lot more complicated because we are not just dealing with the ideal, we are dealing with ourselves, with fallen nature. I think one of the most important things in our spiritual life is to have substantial victories in fallen nature within ourselves and within others. Remember, no resentment. You know, no resentment sounds easy, doesn't it? I'll be all right. I won't become bitter and negative. I'll manage. But I don't think it's that easy. We face challenges we don't know how to solve. We feel helpless, powerless to resolve. We are mistreated or cheated by others, right? We don't get the recognition we wanted. We felt like, I'm going to do this, and people don't appreciate that as the way we want, and so on. Eventually, you know, when resentment starts moving in, what happens is we start reevaluating everything. I would just use the word resentment for the overarching thing that Satan uses to claim victory in the end. Remember, no resentment. That has to last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, till the end of our life. I have to manage no resentment. The worst thing that's dangerous is usually resentments are justified. They make sense. Like, if I was mistreated, it's justified for me to resent. It's not like, oh, you're being resentful, that's ridiculous, how could you be resentful? There's no reason for you to resent, you should be above that. No, right? It's justified. It makes sense once we leave God's point of view, right? Once we focus on how I feel, how I was treated. So the first thing is, how do I manage not to become resentful? That's my personal responsibility. But how do I create an environment that prevents from people being in that circumstance, right? And to heal people who may have that issue. I'm going to take responsibility to change this. I didn't cause it, but I'm going to change it. Remember, no resentment. That has to last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, till the end of our life. I have to manage no resentment. You know, if we think about how resentments grow or how fallen nature spreads, one way is a lot of people are afraid to confront issues. If there's some injustice in a workplace, when you accept it, you become part of it. That's the fourth fallen nature, right? That we want our bad standards to become the standard. We externalize it onto others, and if other people don't push back and accept it, then eventually that becomes the norm in that environment. I don't think Father didn't struggle with resentment and with pain and persecution. He did, I'm sure he did. But it didn't affect his determination to love God. It didn't affect his love for people around him. We should care enough about each other to be able to confront each other in a healthy way. Confronting doesn't mean fighting and accusing and attacking. A spiritual leader needs to find the way to do it in a loving way, in the right way, but he needs to find the way. He needs to feel that tension, and he needs that tension to be driving him with the sense that I want to take responsibility, not I want to run away and find a way not to take responsibility, right? Remember, no resentment. That has to last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, till the end of our life. I have to manage no resentment. You know, restoration requires someone to take responsibility, and that it could be just us. I don't know who else there is. Who does God have? So in your family, it's definitely you. It should be you. But in your wider community, it can be you. It's our choice. Say, God, I will fix it. I will face all persecution, circumstances, and not to be naive that it means we will have to face those struggles, right? We will have to face personally overcoming painful, difficult feelings, difficult circumstances. I may be put in the circumstances where I will have to face the same challenge, that same fallen nature in me, and I have to be victorious. I have to manage no resentment. You know, restoration requires someone to take responsibility, and that it could be just us. I don't know who else there is. Who does God have? It could be just us. I don't know who else there is. Who does God have? It could be just us.